That IMT identifies everything in an individual, helps you to predict who they are. But one of the things that is important is because of natural laws, we realize that every condition, although they're unique, they help us to predict people. Everything is correlated. And I'm just going to run by these because these are pretty simple in understanding how they apply to AI. It's simply the input and the output. The more information you put into the AI system and automation, the more it can predict. And this is the same with human beings. The more they understand the natural laws and the information, the more they can predict. And this is basically all automation artificial intelligence is doing. It has an understanding of some natural laws that have been put into it, and it's just looking at the information and spitting out the one outcome because it knows there's only one outcome. The cycle of learning. IMT is trying to help people realize that this cycle of learning, this is something that is very inefficient. And the inefficient part about it is the thinking and making decisions. They didn't put the updated slides that Dr. Dean will show tomorrow. But in reality, what it's trying to get someone to do is observe and apply. And that's exactly what a machine does. You put something in it, it sees it, and it automatically applies that information. Right now, most of them don't change, but artificial intelligence is allowing the machine to get better, actually, as it applies the information. If we could observe everything, then it would just be observe and apply. And it's the difference between the thinking and the no thinking approach. You can see all of the automation, including the use of it, is on the no thinking approach. How does a computer ask for help? A computer is looking for more information. But unfortunately, a computer does not know yet when it needs more information, oftentimes. And this is what allows a human being with the automation mindset to be even more powerful than the computer. We talked about who's on your molecule. And what we're finding here in who's on your molecule, it simplifies life. It now is making a connection between individuals and everything around them, enabling us to predict more, enabling us to be able to associate pieces of information with the people. This isn't in your cheat sheet, but it's the equilibrium. What we're finding out is if you have a person, the pressure the person is applying on their environment is the same pressure that they get back. This, of course, is just one more natural law, helping someone understand why they're running into the type of people they're running into, why they're in the situation that they're in. We have the influence and no influence. As I pointed out to one group, if you look on the influence side makes life 10 times more complicated. Why? Because an individual has to understand multiple variables in order to understand what could possibly happen to them. It's too much, so they believe in luck and chance. On the other side, the only variable the person really has to understand is one, it's themselves. And it allows them to be able to predict what they're going to run into, what's going to happen to them in life. The idea of no influence greatly simplifies life. It minimizes the need for communication. It causes someone to be more observant. If you look at the characteristics on the bottom, all of those characteristics minimize the amount of communication, maximizes the amount of observation that a person will be taking in. Now, one of the things I do want to mention, because I want to go back to this happiness idea. An automation mindset is actually, for most people, a change in how they're actually looking at life. Because you might look at, well, certain things make certain people happy. Now, some people might find happiness in, I don't know, in causing other people harm or whatever it might be. But the key here is that someone with an automation mindset, they have a type A personality, and it causes them to find happiness in certain things that are more stable, more predictable, more understanding. Hence, they're happier because what they find happiness in is more stable. They actually change their preferences. They change what they like to do. They change exactly how they're looking at things. So, for example, automation minimizes human activity, minimizes the amount of talking needed. So you start finding out that people with an automation mindset, they don't like to move as much. They don't like to travel places as much because what they find out is it's not needed. And this is what Dr. Dean is trying to teach and help people understand. Hopefully the automation now can help you to see that. But whereas maybe we like to travel a lot before, as we get more information, become more type A, we find out that traveling isn't what brings us happiness maybe. And it might be understanding more, becoming more observant, being more capable. And this leads us to the leadership alignment as well. Automation, artificial intelligence, it goes off of realizing that it can't change people. The one reason why it's been so successful is it doesn't require people to change. It changes the structure and how they do things to make it easier for people to do more with less. And this is what a person with the automation mindset is looking at life. They don't expect other people to change. They're changing how they do things. They're changing the structure in which people are in so that people do less. They don't have to change as much. But what they know and what they can do well is utilized more. And of course, we get to the best value system. The main thing is the utilization of expertise. It's manually automating things. We don't even need a computer to eliminate human activity. We're actually in real life creating the algorithm or the coding so that we do things more efficient, we talk less, we do less. And people, when they do something, are efficient and effective.